now, man, these things are still happening. So some of the moves, though, we'll talk about the steals, what they made first.
Yep.
Well, right before we got on the podcast, we saw that Anthony Chickalo, Mark Barron, and Johnny Holton were all released.
You got the numbers? Do you want me to pull up the numbers of like what
from a cap standpoint? It's supposed to give them around 14 or 15 million, and then at the same time, they're trying to trade Ramon Foster, and if they can't trade him, then they'll plan to release him. Yeah, because they said with Chick, he counted for 5. I think Mark was at 7.
6 or 7. Yeah, but so if you add all that up,
Johnny Holton in there as well.
Yeah, if you add all that up, that's definitely double digits.
Yeah, so that was, like I said, before we started recording, I'm sure there's going to be some restructuring that's going to be taking place as well, because they did officially franchise tag Bud Dupree today as well. And Javon Hargrave, shout out to him, man. You saw he commented on your page.
He did.
That's my dog, man. He looked at you. He commented on yours, but the shot was at me. That's my dog.
Was it? I thought it was.
Talking about the ceiling. So
he said ceiling, and it looked like
crazy eyes
from the emojis, like he bumped his head on the ceiling.
Like,
that's what I was getting from it.
I looked at it like, oh man, you done lost your mind. Knowing Wilder, that's my guy, man. That's why I love him, because I know like he's like me. We both got that 1AA mentality. Obviously, he went to South Carolina State. But understanding being a small school guy, overachieving and get a chance to get paid. Now, granted, he's about to hit the lottery. So, I mean, for me, I was super proud of him. And even when they said they franchise tag Bud, the first thing that he posted on his Twitter, like the excited eyes, like, oh yeah, he about to go hit a check. Because that's the thing, like as players, you don't want to get franchise tagged because that caps your value.
Yeah.
When you're able to hit the open market, when you're hot in your prime, oh, that's when you could break the bank. That's special. That doesn't happen often. And that's why, like, regardless of how people wanted to spin it, whether it was going to be, oh, you need to tag Hargrave and let Bud walk, either one of those guys was going to win. Whoever didn't get tagged was going to be the winner, not the guy who got tagged. Because when you get tagged, you're capped. So Bud, for example, this year, he's capped at 15.98 for the franchise tag. Whereas if he would have hit the market, who knows what he would have got? Who knows?
That's fair. Yeah.
And that's the thing. So, like, for fans, they try to spin it. Oh, man, why would we tag Bud? Let Bud lead. For the players, you're like, dude, I would love to hit the open market in my prime because I'm going to go break the bank. But that's the perception. That we always talk about perception versus reality.
Yeah, makes sense.
Fans look at it from one way. Players look at it a totally different way.
Makes sense.
Yeah, you're trying to be free.
I just checked real quick. It was it's 11 million with those.
Okay.
Three.
Yeah.
I'm assuming if Foster gets released, then it will be the 15, 16 then.
Because they say because they're still trying to trade Ramon. They have had conversations about Vince, but they still haven't said what they're going to do with him or not. And then I also saw where they said Al Villanueva could potentially be a cap casualty as well. So that's very interesting. Yeah. So it's a lot going on from that standpoint.
We're clearing the decks here.
Well, the thing is, when you got a player that's accounting for so much money on the cap, you just got stuck.
Actually, that deal's looking pretty good with the new CBA, right?
No, we're still, you hear these deals we're about to have to make in terms of cuts and restructures, right?
Tannehill just got paid, what, 28, 29 million a year.
Okay, Dak just got franchise tag.
Come on, man.
What are we saying?
I'm taking Ben over those two easily.
Okay. Whatever you say, man.
And money. Throw on whatever millions you want.
All right, whatever you say, man. I'm just simply saying, you see this situation we're in right now. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I think we're going to be putting together a really solid team here.
I would hope so.
I think we are.
I would hope so.
I mean, do you think any of these releases are going to be hurting us drastically?
Well, right now, if Ramon doesn't stay, if he's released, you're losing a starting left guard that's been your starter for the past 7-8 years. If it were to be Al, you're losing your starting left tackle. That just directly impacts Ben. I know we don't want to value. I know you don't. I know when we talk about no, and we'll get to. I think Johnny Holton probably had the least impact when we talk about Chickalo. That's a core special teamers. I know you don't value that until it's negative, and now you're like, oh, fire Danny Smith. That's the one. Okay. And then we obviously talk about Mark Barron. He was third on the team in tackles. Took on a large portion of the coverage responsibilities. So now you lose that. So from there, I mean, you could take it how you want to take it. You can say how you want to see it. But at the same time, that's a starting linebacker who started more and played more than both Vince and Devin Bush.
Yeah, I guess it's all in what we do with the cap space. Yeah. And from my perspective, and probably your perspective,
what we've done. We franchised Bud Dupree. These aren't moves that we're making to bring in new bodies. These are moves that you got to make to get under the cap to make sure that Bud and this franchise tag works out. And it all has to be done by Wednesday, March 18th. So, right, that's what I'm telling you. It's not as if, we're already under the cap, but we're making these moves for just the sake of it.
You know what? I did forget about that.
Yeah, that's the difference. So when you say, "Oh, these moves, how much they gonna hurt us?" I'm like, "Well, actually,
I did forget.
We don't have
that.
money to go out there and just go. Oh, we're cutting these guys to go bring in a big time player or an above average." Like, no. We're cutting because we got 15 mil. We just talked about for Bud.
I'm just seeing everywhere just so much savings and so much cap space that we have now. I'm not really looking at the logistics of this. But we are gonna have extra cap space with the CBA, correct?
We were supposed to, because they projected it to be around 230 million, with it being 198 and the increase in minimum salaries that cuts into that. And then you also
what happened to the projection?
I don't know how they got it wrong, but it happens.
Wow.
Sometimes they underproject it, sometimes they overproject it. Yeah, and this just happened to be an under.
Okay.
Well,
so it might be next year that it's really bumped up after TV
it
deals.
Already bumped up this year.
Right. No. I'm saying even more though, where it's the more drastic bump up.
Well, for a lot of teams, this was a drastic bump up. We were just so grossly over the cap when we were going to have to franchise Bud, and largely points to Ben's contract. And that's what we're trying to get at. That's the whole situation right now. Just because of when they extended him and how they restructured and everything, the contract was set up to be, it put them in a financial hole. And now you were just banking that, hey, man, he's going to have to be healthy. And even if he has trash around him, you hope that he can make it work. Now we're in this situation, so we're going to keep our fingers crossed.
We got a good team, man.
We had one last year, too. But when you see when the person that you pay that much money to, if it doesn't work out, what it looks like. That's all I'm saying.
And we got him coming back, so.
All right, what was it? I'm just simply saying. You said that last year, too. So you saw what happened. That's all I'm simply saying,
I'm in alignment with the organization.
All right, trust me, they all right. We ain't even go there, man. I'm not doing that today. I'm just giving you facts. That's all I'm doing. I just want you to understand the situation right now and understand the circumstance and why moves are being made the way they're being made right now.
I see that. And I'm hoping that man, yeah, I guess we don't really need to get into it.
Yeah, man.
I guess I'm just hoping some of these releases we're going to replace them somehow, some way. Whether it's people we got stepping up or we bring in some guys. That's the
thing. So you're going to have to lean on the draft. Potentially some of these restructures. There was rumors that if they restructured Cam Hayward, that would help him out. It's not, just because of the way his contract is set up. They could potentially restructure or extend Ben.
Yeah.
And that would free up, I think it was 8 or 9 million they were saying that should help them out. But then you roll back
for another year.
But this is the thing though. When you do that, you're essentially kicking that can down. So when it hits, it's gonna right now it's hitting, it's just gonna be worse the further you kick it down. So that's the next limit. And you have to figure that whenever that does happen, you're essentially gonna be the year when Ben is not here anymore either. So now you're going to have cap destruction on top of losing franchise quarterback. That's a lot to try to overcome in a season or two. So that's why it's like a lot of decisions like that being made right now. Because what you could do today could destroy you for the next however long.
Because I'm just seeing, Steeler accounts posting those graphics where, hey, if we restructure these 6 or 7 players, we're gonna have 10 million in cap space. It's that simple.
But it's simple in terms of this season, and we've done so many restructures that's why the cap is what it is right now for us.
Well, we used to do it a decent amount in the past with some of our
we do it all the time.
Yeah,
that's I remember what the Steelers do.
I remember Ben's been restructured. I don't know how many times.
AB was getting restructured all the time. Tua was getting restructured. Everybody, we will all say this, man. You're gonna sign your deal, and then in a year they're gonna restructure you, and then in a year they're gonna restructure you again. You knew that. That was the rule. So it's like whatever they say, even though it's technically not guaranteed right now, once they restructure it, it becomes guaranteed. So it guarantees you for that year, and then you mask it as, hey, man, I'm doing this for the team. And they're like, yo, that's a great team guy, man. Look at him, man. He's doing this. He's taking this deal for the team. And it's like, no, the player's winning because he's getting a guaranteed year. And they're just kicking down all the other stuff. Like, oh, don't worry about that. Just keep kicking it, keep restructuring. And then you get a crazy cap hit for 20 mil for a guy who's getting paid 6 million. You're like, how the heck? Oh,
or not even
too many times.
Or not even on the roster.
Right.
I remember Lamar Woodley. Well, AB last year. Yeah.
The restructures to do that, man.
Wow.
So that's the only issue. It's like, it's the equivalent to, hey, let's go out and drink today, Deke. Let's go drink. Let's go take shots. Let's drink beer. Let's rage. And then that hangover hits you that next day. The whole night you're drinking, you're not thinking about the hangover. You just living, right? Hey, man, we got through it. We're good. We got through it. I ain't Earl. You ain't Earl. We good. Then that morning hit when them bills would come due and that hangover get you. You're like, oh my God, what did I do?
That's a good analogy.
And that's where we're at right now. We're at all right, we're going to keep drinking. And we're going to make this hangover hit for another day. Or we're going to live. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing we're trying to figure out right now. So when we get off this podcast, it's probably going to be a lot more new information transpiring too.